The human condition is slavery. Human beings are slaves. They are not born as slaves. But if you look around the world and are honest with yourself, you will see that human beings are in chains everywhere you look. Wage slavery is just another expression of the human condition. You have to exchange your energy for pieces of paper, which your owners, the government, take a percentage from, and they come after you if you don't give it to them. On top of this, a big portion of your money goes towards things like bills, fines, traveling to and from work and so on, all of which is only set up to extract as much money from you as possible. And the money always ends up back in their hands. You even get taxed when you buy stuff and when you put gas in your car. And you have to get permission, license, from them to drive, which you also have to pay for regularly. As if all this wasn't enough, some of your tax money gets used to fund the military-industrial complex which many politicians are invested in. So you can protest against war as much as you like. They don't really care because you're literally funding them. And you have no choice because the human condition is slavery. I feel like society doesn't pay us back for all the work we put into it. Yet the human nature is not. Because of artificiality, the human condition became slavery. Capitalism is regulated slavery. People are waking up. All this content attacking government and taxes but not a word attacking the super wealthy? The ones setting poverty wages and buying off politicians? Government isn't the problem, bud. It's the billionaires who have captured it for their own interests. This post and video reads like some BS libertarian billionaires would create to convince people they shouldn't pay any taxes. How does an anti-work sub not believe in wage slavery? This is basics. You seem really depressed. You know what's gonna solve this problem for you? A pizza party. GIF. I think you are assigning too much blame to the government and not enough to corporations. The government creates the money. They need to also take money out of circulation to reduce inflation. The states also can't fund spending without taxes, which is absolutely necessary for our mutual survival. No. The misuse of government spending is the consequence of the empowerment of the upper class. They are powerful because own and control almost all wealth generated by the labor of their workers. For boomers to have had so much but for us to be more productive necessarily indicates that our employers are keeping an ever greater share of the income that we bring in. After expenses. Before wages. I think it was a Greek philosopher that said that when people have different quantities of political power, then those with less power are made to be like slaves. And who has less power? The working class. Who does not have the power over the government? The working class. All because of this feedback loop of our labor becoming their wealth. The solution isn't to be taxed less. The solution is for workers to get paid more. Emo. Workers need to own and control the businesses they work at directly. This appears to mean either starting worker coups and succeeding in the market or violently overthrowing the upper class. I for one will be starting a worker co-op. This post was a rant about taxes and government. Taxes and having to buy things to survive is not slavery. Op needs to educate themselves on what slavery actually is. You have a choice what you do, how you do it, and where your money goes. Taxes are also not theft, as so many like to say. Taxes are a charge for government services that everyone benefits from. You can talk about government waste as yes, it is often inefficient. But the reality of extreme libertarian preaching about self-sufficiency is a world run by warlords. No doubt in my mind that even if capitalism was made with good intentions, the implementation does not serve anyone but the rich. No one is cared for except the rich. No one benefits except the rich. Nothing matters except keeping the money machine running. Life? What is it? They have even put a price tag on life with insurance companies. Money has become the default god for theists and atheists alike. However, this video made me feel good and brought some hope about how good things could be and efforts being made in that direction. It is not a solution to our problems, but at least gives us something positive to think about. It steers our mind away from the problem and towards the solution. Big sovereign citizen vibe coming from this post. This is a really edgy take, Mr. 8th grader. This is actually not the human condition, this is just the current human condition, and it seems like most countries of the world are led by entities who want to keep it that way. Well, that just sounds like slavery with extra steps, Rick. 100 years ago, farm kids left home for the city because factory jobs were easier and paid more. Sometimes I think the agricultural revolution was a mistake. Though I mean our hunter-gatherer ancestors also practiced slavery. Slavery does not exist naturally. I sometimes wonder if we would be better off living like wild humans of yore. It's a little bit strange to focus on taxation without acknowledging the benefits of publicly funded infrastructure. There are many things that my taxes go toward which I'll gladly contribute. For-profit institutions have a boot on our collective necks. And there's no way to sugarcoat that. Landlords and the owner class extract our earnings in far more insidious ways. Gas tax? That pays for roads. Whereas public transportation is something I appreciate every day. Without public education, I wouldn't be who I am today. There are countless other examples. If only you take the time to look. Taxes fund essential things that benefit everyone. Profits only benefit those who own the means of production. We could perhaps talk about what a fair and equitable tax policy would look like. But calling it slavery is really overblown and insulting to those who experienced actual chattel slavery. We are born as slaves. Nowadays, can you leave your country without the permission? And without paying some fees for your passport? The world now is a big cluster of comfy jails. What is your solution? If you don't work, how will you be able to acquire the goods needed to survive? Beyond that, how will the goods be made? Energy generated? Food produced? The barter system works in a micro sense but not in a national or global sense. Most people don't have the required skills to survive without people who have specific skills. Our current capitalism system is very flawed, but even in a utopian world, transactions have to happen.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.